Patricia moved quietly through the glossy marble hallways of Lenox Global, the mop gliding across the floor with practiced precision. The towering office building seemed to shine even at night, its glass walls reflecting the city lights like a beacon of wealth. For Patricia, it wasn't a symbol of opportunity, it was her survival. As a cleaning lady, she worked the late shift to support her teenage son, Malik. Every evening, he came with her, sitting silently in a corner of whatever room she cleaned, his thin frame hunched over a tattered notebook. Malik was different from other 14-year-olds. While most kids played video games or scrolled endlessly on their phones, Malik spent hours teaching himself languages. Mandarin, French, Arabic, he devoured them all like secrets waiting to be unlocked. Patricia often worried that her son's brilliance might go unnoticed in a world that cared more about appearances than potential. That Friday night felt like any other until Patricia was called to clean the executive boardroom. A meeting was running late. She entered quietly, Malik trailing behind her. The room was filled with powerful men in sharp suits, their laughter echoing as glasses clinked. At the head of the table sat Harold Lennox, the Millionaire CEO. He was known for his arrogance as much as his wealth, a man who loved flaunting his power. As Patricia worked silently in the corner, Malik sat cross-legged, reading a Mandarin textbook by the dim glow of his phone. It didn't take long for Harold to notice. "Well, what do we have here?" Harold said loudly, rising from his chair. "The cleaning lady brings her son to work. And he's reading Chinese?" He smirked as the room's laughter bubbled. Patricia froze, gripping her mop tighter. "Yes, sir," she said softly. "He loves languages." Harold chuckled, walking over. "Oh really? Tell you what, kid. Translate this for me." He pulled out his phone and tapped on a paragraph in Mandarin. "If you can do it, my salary's yours." The boardroom erupted in laughter. Patricia's face flushed red as she whispered, "Malik, don't," but Malik's eyes didn't drop. He stared at the screen, his small hands tightening into fists. For once, he didn't want to stay invisible. He wanted to prove them all wrong. "All right," he said quietly. "I'll try." The room fell silent. For a moment, the boardroom was frozen. Harold Lennox's smirk widened as he leaned casually against the polished oak table, certain this little boy wouldn't dare speak. His high-end watch gleamed under the lights as he chuckled. "Go on then, genius. Read it out loud. Let's see if you're worth my salary." The executives stifled their laughter, exchanging amused glances. Patricia's heart pounded in her chest. She wanted to grab Malik's hand and pull him away, but something in her son's eyes made her stop. Malik wasn't afraid, not anymore. He stood slowly, clutching his tattered Mandarin workbook tightly, and walked toward Harold. The room's laughter faded into murmurs as the boy's small figure approached the towering CEO. Malik stared at the phone screen, reading the complex Mandarin paragraph Harold had pulled up. For a moment, the room felt suffocatingly quiet. Patricia could barely breathe. Then, Malik opened his mouth. His voice was steady, his tones precise. The Mandarin words flowed effortlessly as if he'd been speaking them his entire life. The room's laughter died instantly. Harold blinked, caught off guard. He thought the cleaning lady's son knew nothing, but he was wrong. Malik translated the text word for word, pausing only briefly to pronounce the more intricate characters flawlessly. One of the Chinese investors seated nearby raised his eyebrows. "Perfect pronunciation," he murmured, impressed. "Where did he learn this?" By the time Malik finished, the silence was deafening. The executives stared in disbelief. Patricia's hands trembled as she pressed them over her mouth to stop the sob building in her throat. Malik handed Harold's phone back calmly. "Would you like me to translate another?" he asked softly. Harold's face flushed crimson. He forced a laugh, but the sound came out awkward and brittle. "Well, look at that. You got lucky, kid." But the Chinese investor wasn't laughing. He leaned forward, his gaze locked on Malik. "This boy is extraordinary," he said firmly. "His Mandarin is better than some of my staff back in Shanghai." Patricia blinked back tears as she looked at her son. For years, she'd cleaned floors to give him a chance at something better. And now, in a single moment, Malik had proven himself in front of powerful men who never even saw him coming. The room felt heavier now. The amused whispers and mocking laughter had vanished, replaced by an awkward stillness that clung to the air like fog. Harold Lennox shifted uncomfortably in his tailored suit, his face still flushed from Malik's flawless translation. For the first time that evening, the Millionaire CEO wasn't the center of attention. Lucky guess, Harold muttered, forcing an uneasy grin as he slid his phone back into his pocket. But his voice cracked slightly, betraying his shaken confidence. The Chinese investor seated to his right didn't share the sentiment. He leaned forward, his sharp eyes studying Malik with interest. "Your son's Mandarin is impressive," the investor said to Patricia, his tone warm and respectful. "Where did he learn such mastery?" Patricia hesitated, still stunned. He taught himself, sir. From books and online lessons. We couldn't afford tutors." Her voice cracked with emotion as she glanced at Malik, standing quietly beside her with his hands clasped behind his back. The investor's brows furrowed in disbelief. "Self-taught?" He turned to Harold. "This boy speaks Mandarin with tonal precision and vocabulary depth I rarely hear outside native speakers. You mocked him, but he's the most talented person in this room." Harold opened his mouth to respond, but no words came out. His executives, once laughing with him, now stared at him with tight expressions. A few shifted in their seats uncomfortably. Patricia's heart swelled with pride, but her hands still trembled. For years, she'd worked quietly, unseen and unheard in this glittering world of power and privilege. Tonight, her son had shattered that invisibility in a single moment. The investor pulled out a sleek business card and extended it to Patricia. "Call me," he said. "Your son has a gift that must not be wasted. I would like to speak about his future." Patricia blinked, tears pricking her eyes. "Thank you, sir," she whispered, her fingers shaking as she accepted the card. Harold cleared his throat loudly, trying to reclaim authority. "All right, let's wrap this up. We're all tired." But his voice lacked its usual commanding edge. As Patricia and Malik quietly gathered their things to leave, Harold avoided their gaze. For the first time in his life, the millionaire had been humbled, not by wealth or power, but by the brilliance of a boy he never thought to respect. Patricia stared at the sleek silver business card resting in her palm as she sat across from Malik at their small kitchen table that night. The name embossed on it, Mr. Zhang Wei, CEO of a leading global trade company, seemed almost unreal. She ran her thumb over the raised letters, afraid the ink would smudge like a dream fading away. Malik sat quietly, his textbook unopened for once. His mind replayed the boardroom scene again and again, Harold Lennox's mocking grin, the laughter, then the heavy silence after he spoke. "Why would he even care about me, Mama?" Malik asked softly. Patricia reached across the table, cupping his hand. "Because he saw what I've always known. You're special, Malik. You've got something those men will never understand, talent, determination, and a heart that doesn't give up." The next day, Patricia nervously dialed the number on the card. "Hello? This is Patricia, from Lennox Global. You gave me your card about my son." "Ah, Miss Patricia," Mr. Zhang's voice was warm. "Thank you for calling. I've been hoping to hear from you." Hours later, they sat in a private dining room at an upscale hotel, Malik fidgeting in his only collared shirt. Mr. Zhang arrived with a kind smile and a firm handshake. "Malik," he said in perfect English, "your performance yesterday was extraordinary. Most adults can't speak Mandarin the way you do. You've taught yourself?" "Truly?" Malik nodded shyly. "Yes, sir. From books, apps, and videos online." Mr. Zhang leaned back, impressed. "It's rare to find such brilliance. I'd like to sponsor your education. We'll enroll you in an international academy, then send you to the best universities for linguistics and global trade. I'll personally mentor you if you wish." Patricia's hand flew to her mouth. "Sir, we We couldn't possibly. Yes, you can, Mr. Zhang interrupted gently. I want to invest in your son's future. One day, I believe he could sit at any negotiating table in the world and command respect. Malik's eyes widened. You'd do that for me? Mr. Zhang smiled. Because brilliance like yours shouldn't be overlooked, not by arrogance, and certainly not by circumstance. Patricia felt her heart swell with gratitude and disbelief. For years, she'd scrubbed floors to keep her son's dreams alive. Now, someone was offering to lift him to heights she never dared imagine. 10 years later, the skyline of Shanghai glittered under the evening sky as Harold Lennox adjusted his tie in the mirrored elevator. He was here for the most critical merger of his career. Lennox Global had been struggling in the Asian markets, and this deal with Zhang International was his lifeline. If he didn't secure it, his empire would begin to crumble. As the elevator doors opened, Harold strode into the sleek glass conference room. His confidence radiated like always, or at least, that's what he wanted everyone to believe. He didn't know yet that today's meeting would haunt him for the rest of his life. At the head of the table stood the lead negotiator, a tall man in a tailored suit with calm, piercing eyes. Harold didn't recognize him at first. Good evening, Mr. Lennox, the man said in flawless Mandarin, the tones crisp and commanding. Then he switched to English, his voice smooth but sharp. Or would you prefer I conduct this meeting in your language? Harold's jaw slackened as realization hit him like a punch to the gut. It was Malik. The cleaning lady's son, the boy he'd mocked years ago, now a confident, worldly man representing the very company Harold needed to save his own. Patricia sat in the corner, her elegant dress and poise a stark contrast to the maid's uniform she once wore. She smiled faintly, her eyes never leaving Harold's face as it turned pale. Malik? Harold finally croaked, his voice hollow. Yes, Malik said, his expression calm but his eyes steely. It's been a long time, Mr. Lennox. Shall we begin? Throughout the negotiation, Malik spoke with the ease of a man born to command a room. Harold struggled to keep up, his usual arrogance replaced with visible discomfort. Every word Malik spoke reminded him of the boardroom years ago, when he'd challenged a boy to translate this for his salary. He remembered the laughter, the mockery, and the silence that followed Malik's flawless reply. By the end of the meeting, Malik stood and extended his hand. Thank you for coming. Zhang International will review your proposal and decide if this partnership aligns with our standards. As Harold left the room, he felt smaller than he ever had in his life. Patricia watched him go, her heart swelling with pride. Malik had not only risen above his humble beginnings, he'd risen so high that even the men who once mocked him had no choice but to look up. The boy they had underestimated was now a man the world couldn't ignore.